Hey, 8th grade history, this is Mr. Barnett, and happy Thursday. I wanted to talk to you as we're coming up to the end of chapter 23. We're coming to the end of the World War II. And so the end of World War II happens in August 1945 when we drop 2 nuclear weapons on the Japanese. Now, what you got to understand is we developed these weapons and we developed them for the purpose of defeating our enemies. So the question was, we defeated the Germans in May of 1945. And so we had what we called VE Day, which is victory over Europe. Okay, victory in Europe. But we still are fighting the Japanese because we're still fighting in the South Pacific. Now we're pushing them back island by island across the Pacific. And so the question was, do we invade Japan or do we figure out a way that we don't have to? Now, if we had to invade Japan, it would have cost us, the estimates were, over 1 million dead Americans, British, French, Australians, Canadians, 1 million dead. Or do we develop a weapon that will eliminate that necessity? And so we developed through what we called the Manhattan Project, which was the development of the nuclear bomb. And so we said, we're going to do that. So Franklin Roosevelt dies. Harry Truman takes over as president. And they said, Mr. President, we want to tell you about this new weapon that we have. And so he said, we're going to use it. So they developed a bomb that was bigger than any other bomb that they'd had. You talk about Moab, that's what it is. Mother of all bombs. And so they flew it over there and they dropped it on Hiroshima or Hiroshima, whichever way you want to pronounce it, in August of 1945. And the Japanese couldn't figure out what that was. Because again, the bombs that we had been dropping on Japan and on Germany were big, but this was 10,000 times bigger. Not in size, but in devastation. So you could drop a bomb and blow up a plant. You could blow up a factory. This bomb blows up an entire city. So we drop it on the Japanese and we send them a letter that says, are you ready to surrender? And they said, no, we're not surrendering. So a few days later, we dropped a second nuclear weapon on Nagasaki. And after we did that, they said, okay, we can't continue to take this level of devastation. And so they quit. They surrendered. And the end of World War II. And we had what was called VJ Day, which is victory over Japan. So hopefully that gives you a little bit of light. By the way, we are the only country that has ever used nuclear weapons. And Japan is the only country we've ever used them on. There's only been 2 nuclear weapons used in war in the entire history of the world, and that was the 2 that we dropped on Japan to end World War II. So I wanted to give you that little tidbit. Hopefully you're getting your work done. Hopefully you're making sure everything's taken care of. I'm getting emails and I'm getting assignments in, and that's great. So keep up the good work. Hopefully we'll see each other soon, and you guys have a great day.